Sabonis has been absolved. Draymond Green has been popped. But you know what? The Warriors can still win Game 3. They can still win Game 3 without Draymond Green. And we'll get to that at some point. 888-957-9570. I want to hear from Dub Nation. Yeah. Is the suspension warranted? Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you not surprised? What does it mean for the Warriors? All that stuff's coming up for the next 4 hours.
All right, let's get into the Draymond aspect of this. We'll get into the optics because I don't think this is just like, it's not one thing. It's not just a resume. There's a million layers to this story. In life, this is how I live my life, Bonte, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. In life, I run my life on credits and demerits. Your boy ran up a ton of demerits in life, and so I feel like I've got a lot of penance to do, and hence I'm trying to do my best I can to get back into the positive credit territory. And what I mean by that is that your resume, things that you do, how you are, those things start piling up, and there's a weight left and right, back and forth, okay? Most of the most important decisions about your employment are made in a corporate setting, are made without you in the room. It is made by others talking about you when you're not in the room. You're not there to defend yourself. You're not there to politic for yourself. You're not there to win them over. They're going to ask people, is so-and-so a good worker? Is he a good person? Do you like working with them every single day? Most of those decisions, you are not in the room. So you better get along with people. And when you've run up the amount of demerits that Draymond has, he has zero goodwill. And it sucks, but I'm not surprised because I knew they were going to look at his body of work.
Well, that's not right. That's not right.
But Bonte,
you can't suspend somebody
Bonte, that's how
on
it works.
priors. No, it doesn't. It's never worked like that in the NBA.
No, I don't know about the NBA. I'm talking about life.
Right. Well,
I'm
this
talking
ain't
about
life. This is basketball.
Well,
this is sports. This ain't
it's
life.
Still human
this
element.
isn't a normal
There's a human
life.
element.
The NBA is not normal. We keep trying to compare our lives to NBA players and stuff. They live a different life. These are the top millionaires, the one percenters, and basketball. This is a sport. It's got nothing to do with
Vontaze Burfict the same way you treat Fred Warner from a league office standpoint.
Well, no, because of the priors, no doubt about it.
That's my point.
But you can't do that in this situation.
Why not?
You can't put in your memo. You know, looking at his history of unsportsmanlike acts, we have to do this.
That's how it works.
No, that's not.
I don't agree with it, but that's true. That's how we run life.
I don't agree with it at all. I don't agree with it at all.
He's in the building. And then when it comes Adam Silver's in the building, and he's watching one of his players. They are so, and I don't, look it, we can argue about this, but it's the facts. When you listen to people who do executive podcasts, David Sampson being one of them, John Skipper, who ran ESPN. John Skipper, who ran ESPN, says the league is so fearful of any bad look because of the malice at the palace, and I'm not saying that that's where we're going. They are so afraid of any bad look optic-wise that what Draymond did after...
Then listen.
I'm telling you, that was the thing that they are most worried about. Whether you and I agree with it, I believe that's how they perceive it.
You want to bring up the malice of the palace? Then why did they suspend Draymond Green last year in Memphis when he ran around the floor with his arms out like a Hulk Hogan WWE character?
I think that parlayed that into this.
He's been doing this forever.
And that doesn't make it right.
Forever.
That doesn't make it right.
And this whole thing that, oh, man, it could have been a malice in the palace situation. Nobody from Sacramento.
I didn't say that.
I know you didn't say that.
I'm saying they're so sensitive. I'm saying they're so sensitive.
Then they would have popped them last year, Shasky.
Bonte, but he was in the building this time. I don't
care if he was in the building. He was watching the game last year on television. What's the difference?
Bonte,
what's the difference?
Do you really not think body of work matters?
No, body of work does matter, but to say that in your memo and say, you know what, in this situation, after ejecting him, you already ejected him.
I agree.
You already gave him a
punishment.
And
I agree with that.
He reacted to Sabonis grabbing his ankle. He wasn't the initiator in this situation.
But I don't think it was the stomp. See, to me, I think
no, the stomp. It had nothing to do with the stomp. It was him stepping. No, it was him stepping up on the chair and deciding the crowd. That's what did him in. I agree with that, and I said that at the same time. I said that right off the rip of the show. What got him popped was him standing on the bench, enticing the crowd, calling them the P word, the B word, and all that stuff. But if you're going to say, hey, listen, you can't do that to the crowd, then you should have suspended him last year when he ran off on the floor in Memphis, Tennessee.
It's a fair rebuttal, but
that's
I think
what I'm saying.
Adam Silver would probably say, I was in the building this time, and I saw it firsthand, and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, look, I I don't agree with it.
With all the cameras in the NBA, with all the cameras in the NBA, with all the cameras in the NBA and all the access and all the personnel there at NBA basketball games, league officials at every playoff game, you should have popped them last year. So you suspend them here one game.
And Russell Westbrook has done wild stuff to crowds because I was at games where he's like literally like hyping it up, going crazy.
So I'm not buying all that stuff. And not only that, Russell Westbrook just went into a suite and checked the dude, saying, "Hey, what you say now? There's nothing that happened. Not even a fine. Not even a fine."
And those optics, if I'm running the league,
he went to a private suite.
I know. Well, I guess you have to walk through to get to the locker rooms. It's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys situation. Lisa, that was what Amin El Hassan was saying when he was talking about it with Tom Haberstroh. Like, I didn't know that, I guess, through that stadium, you have to go through, whatever, the suites, the special area. But that wasn't good either.
So, Joe Dumars, who played on the Detroit Pistons, the bad boy Pistons, who has mentored Draymond Green for so many years that he did it. So I wonder who pressured him. And you saw it. And I want to play this sound because Alan Stiles had a tweet. Sabonis, right after the game, "Oh, man, we're just playing basketball." And the contrast of his post-game interviews is night and day. There is no doubt in my mind that after he walked off the set with TNT, Jared Greenberg, who interviewed him, he walked into that locker room, and there were some PR guys or anybody from Sacramento saying, "Hey, we got a chance to pop this guy. So let's prep you up for the next interview after we do the MRI." Well, from that perspective, they're smart for that.
Oh, that's Vince McMahon levels of genius. That's how you sell it. You got to sell it to the audience. Like, here's the thing. I can laugh at it, but I also go, that's a good move. Yep. That's great gamesmanship. Yep. I mean, I'm just being honest. You got to use whatever's in your tool bag to get it done. Like, look, Warrior fans we're going back and we're adjudicating everything from the Dylan Brooks play to this play and that play. Everything Draymond's ever done. Like, dude, we are picking up traffic violations from Draymond Green to try to prove why he's a good or bad person. People are cemented in their opinions of what they believe about Draymond. And when you have something like this happen, everyone's going to rain down holy hell on him. You know that.
Well, they're coming out with the think pieces, and everybody. I heard Kitty Caraway compared Draymond Green to Mike Tyson biting off Evander Holyfield's ear.
Come on.
And I said, "Come on, man, you can't be that insane. Come on, you cannot be that insane.
That's
to say
unfair.
Something like
that's
that.
Too far.
That's
too far.
I mean, Mike Tyson was deranged. Okay, Draymond Green is in total control. He knows
Mike Tyson
what he's
went to prison.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, for some very bad things.
Yeah, again, like we can laugh now, but like he served real hard prison time for a variety of things. But
Draymond Green suspended, and I still believe the Warriors will win Game 3. That's how confident I am in this team.
Someone's got to step up.
They ain't going down in 0-3, and there's going to be a lot of guys. Jonathan Kuminga, a lot of people don't think he's ready. You know what? We're going to find out in Game 3 if he's ready or not.
I actually think in the weirdest of ways, this could galvanize them.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know people don't want to hear that this morning, but like next man up, I have a feeling that they have no other opportunity but other than to galvanize themselves because they're done.
So
it's not.
So anyway, Draymond Green's out. He's going to be popped. 888-957-9570. Are you shocked? Are you not shocked? What is happening? I'm a little surprised here. There's people with different opinions. I get it. One thing that was getting to me, because Sacramento fans have been all in my mentions. Oh, they are blowing my timeline up.
You and me both. And I also got a text from Nick Friedel this morning.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Nick Friedel. Oh, boy.
What do you say?
Oh, what do you think? He's like, you guys are living in the content super force.
Well, I mean, we had content anyway. It is what it is. Now it's just Draymond Green's going to take over the show.
What do you think Steph Curry
number 4. I don't know. I'm not even going to psychoanalyze him, but I did want to make this point. I want to make this point, though, because a lot of people coming down my timeline, Kings fans.
About what?
Well, Bonte, they're pulling up old receipts with me saying that Dylan Brooks should have been suspended for breaking GP to his elbow. Sabonis was able to finish the game. He played the final 7:03, and he ended Game 2 with a monster 2-hand jam. You think the ribs had a factor? You think the ribs were hurting in? Dylan Brooks clubbed GP2 in midair on a dunk attempt, which is a basketball no-no. When somebody's in midair, a basketball no-no, and broke his elbow and nearly knocked him out for the rest of the season. Those two plays do not compare to each other. And Dylan Brooks got one game. He got one game. So you're telling me what Draymond Green did yesterday is the same? It's basically the same punishment as Dylan Brooks? But no. Let's put in the memo saying we're going to pop him for priors because of the history of Draymond Green. And that to me is not right.
So I don't think that it's a fair comp to go Dylan Brooks, like comparative shopping. That's not what you're doing here, but like comparing what happened with Dylan Brooks to the Draymond situation. Dylan Brooks doesn't have the long list of things Draymond does. Like, that's just a reality. And again, you can disagree. People can think that, you need to judge it solely on this act. That's not how life works. I just know how life works. Credits and demerits. Like, your body of work does matter.
The NBA lives a different life, though. They live a different lifestyle.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, they do.
No, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You don't referee LeBron James the same way you referee Alfonso McKinney. Right. Like, at no level, you don't give the same equity. No. If anything, the NBA, max players, minimum players. It is the most meritocracy that you'll see out there. Like, what are you talking about?
No, what are you talking about? When you're talking about comparing corporations with the NBA, the NBA is an entirely different corporation.
Tolerance. Someone like Kawhi can sit out as many games as he wants because he's so damn talented, whereas Anthony Lamb, for example, you better be ready to play every single game.
Well, yeah, he's a two-way player. He's not as good as Kawhi Leonard. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. But in the real-life world, you and I, we're equal to everybody, no matter what. No matter what.
No, you might have $1 million in your bank account, and you can afford different representation than someone on the streets who has to use a public defender. No, life is not fair. Like, that's one thing I've learned. Life is never fair.
Steve is Edmonton. What's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, fellas. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
What's up?
I got a quick question for you guys about the Draymond thing. Let's say everything happened the way it does, but Draymond doesn't jump out of that, and he either falls forward and sprains his wrist or hurts his ankle. Is the punishment changed? Does the bonus get suspended for a game?
That's a great question.
Change at all? Like, what I don't understand is why does Draymond have to get hurt in order to get fair treatment? If that was the other way around and Draymond grounds a bonus ankle, he would have got tossed from the game.
I don't think it's a stop.
But no, everything should be based on a case-by-case basis. I go to jail for one thing, and then I say 2 years later I commit a crime, or I don't commit a crime, but I'm accused of something. That situation has nothing to do with a situation I caused 2 years ago. No, it basically is.
No, it
basically
isn't.
is.
No, it isn't.
You can't
it's a
opt
corporation.
somebody based on something they did 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 1 year ago.
Well, there's a double jeopardy thing in law, and then which is being tried for the same thing multiple times. And then there's also like your priors and a criminal history.
Right.
If the police get called to the house for domestic violence multiple times over and over, hell yeah, they're going to use that in court against you. Like, but this isn't court. Like, these are human people making decisions, right? This is not the letter of the law. They're going to interpret things the way they do. I don't think it was the stomp. To me, it was the axe, the stomp, plus what he did afterwards. I think it was what he did afterwards more than that. We can argue whether that's even suspensionable worthy.
It's not.
I don't think it is.
He paid his punishment.
But I understand.
For that situation, to me, he paid his punishment. He got kicked out of a big game. He got kicked out of the game, 7 minutes left.
I agree.
In a 1-0 series lead in game 2, he got kicked out.
What
7 minutes left.
Is that the caller made a great point, Bonte. It almost is unfortunate that he had to hurt himself on the Sabonis play to be able to have a case.
Wow. That's embarrassing.
No, it is.
That's embarrassing.
How many people have said, if he just fell down and hurt himself? Like, what?
It's a Warriors Wednesday brought to you by Freeman's Appliance. Your trusted name since 1922. Visit freemansappliance.com today. I don't agree with the suspension, but it is what it is, and the Warriors got to bounce back, and they got to buck up. Moody, Kuminga, Poole, DiVincenzo, Clay's got to play well. Wiggins has got to play well. He's got to hit the 3 ball. They got to show up at Chase Center tomorrow night.